Good morning, friends. We are now working on Module 5, and this is a new module for us. Module 5, you're going to find your Module 5 book and get that ready to go. And you are going to see that we are going to start not on the first lesson, but rather on Lesson 10. You're welcome to go back and look over those first 10 lessons if you would like to, but we have decided as a second grade team that 10 would be a good place for us to begin. So I'm going to, oh, look at that, I need to fix that. So you're going to watch the Eureka video first on Lesson 10 of Module 5. And then you need to, after you've watched the video, you're going to solve this word problem using, of course, cubes and read, write, and draw about Benji and his crayons, and make sure that you remember all three parts of your word problem from the tape model, as Miss Mulder likes to call it, or the bar model. Miss Starr usually calls it that. But they are one and the same. The tape diagram and the bar model are exactly the same strategy, and you do need to have that along with your horizontal equation and your vertical equation. Notice that this is a two-step problem. You have a part A and a part B, so you have two different steps. You do have to get part A correct in order to be able to get part B correct, as we have done in the past. So you're going to do the application problem, and then we're going to be continuing on. We're going to be, in Lesson 10, we're going to be adding numbers within 1,000. In Module 4, we were adding numbers within 100. Now we'll be adding numbers within 1,000. But the concepts are basically the same, except that now you're going to be adding numbers that could go up into 999, and a possibility of occasionally ending up with 1,000. So we're going to be finding our sums will be somewhere between 1 and 199. That's within 1,000. All right, so once you have done once you've watched the video, then you need to complete these three problems, and you're definitely going to be using vertical form. And when you're using vertical form, make sure that you're using new groups below along with the place value chart or the chip model. So here's your space for doing the chip model. Then you'll need to set this up as the vertical form using new groups below. So you're doing those problems A, B, and C. And continuing on to the next page, you have problem D to do. And then you have on problem number 2, it says that you are going to use the vertical form, and only if you need to. If you need to use the chip model and the place value chart, you're welcome to, and you're going to compose or bundle as needed. If you can do the vertical form using new groups below without the chip model, you are welcome to do that. But if you find that you're struggling, using these in combination with each other will help you to better solve that problem. But if you feel confident with new groups below without the chip model, we'd be excited to see you do that. But if you need to use the chip model, it certainly is available to you. And then you're going to go back, of course, and check your work with me all the way through. And when you've checked your work with me, then you do need to go on to the exit ticket. This is what you'll be sending to your teacher. We'd like to see you use, well, no, you do need to use the vertical form with new groups below. And if you need to use the place value, the chip model, you're welcome to do that. But if you can do it without the chip model, that's fine as well. But if you're finding that you're struggling, please use the chip model, just like we did in the assignment today. But if you don't need to use the chip model, we'd be happy to see you use the vertical form with new groups below. And then you're going to send that to your teacher. So have a great day of learning, my friends, and I will be back with you in just a minute to go over the problems, and then you'll be ready to do your exit ticket and get it ready to move on to your teacher. Alrighty, so pause the video so you can go back and watch the Eureka video, and then you're going to come back and solve the problems that I just mentioned to you, and then we'll go over each of those problems. Pause the video. Are you back? All right, here we go. You are back. Okay, so let's take a look at this problem. We have Benji. Of course, I'm going to be using cubes. He has 36 crayons. Here's Benji. And we have Anna, who has 12 fewer crayons. There's our key word there. She has 12 fewer crayons than Benji. And our first question is, how many crayons does Anna have? This is step 1, and then we'll come to step 2 in just a minute. So the first thing that I want to do is make my tape diagram or my bar model. And I know that Anna, I'm going to put my whole up here and my part, because this, of course, is like the number bond with my whole, my part, and my part. And I know that Anna, which she has 12 fewer crayons than Benji. So I'm going to put this 12 fewer because I know that Benji has to have those 12, and Anna has, well, we're trying to figure out how many Anna has, because we know that Benji has 36, which would be our whole. Benji has 36, and of course Benji already has those 12. That's a part of his number. So what we're looking for is the missing part, which would tell us how many crayons Anna has. So let's think of our equation for that. That would be 36, which is my whole, take away 12, which is how many fewer, will tell us how many crayons Angie has. So here is my vertical, or my horizontal equation, and now I am going to move that into my vertical equation with 36, take away 12. I'm going to examine my whole, because that's the number that I'm going to be taking 12 away from, so that I can find out what part is Anna's. So can I take 2 ones away from 6 ones? Whoops, need to push that up. I am so sorry. I am so sorry that I didn't have that pushed up. Here's my horizontal equation. Here's my vertical equation. Can I take 2 ones away from 6 ones? And yes, I can. 6 ones take away 2 ones is 4 ones. And 3 tens take away 1 10 is 2 tens. So that tells me that 36 take away 12 is 24, and I have found my other part. Now I am going to check this to make sure that my figuring has been correct. So I am saying, if I looked at my number bond, that 24 and 12, bibbidi bobbidi boo, as Miss Mulder likes to do, I should be able to add 24 and 12 together and come back to 36, which I am going to do. 24 plus 12, this is my checking process to see if I've done this correctly. 4 ones and 2 ones is 6 ones, and 2 tens and 1 10 is 3 tens. And I can see that I am exactly where I need to be, because my whole both times ends up as 36 and my parts are 24 and 12. This was the checking part, which we haven't done that a lot, but it's possible that I can check to make sure that I am on the right track. Now I'm going to draw a little line like this, because this was part A, and now I am going to show my work for part B. This time I have to find out how many crayons do they have all together. So I'm going to draw my tape model again, or my bar model, and I'm always going to show my 2 parts and my whole. Now let's see if I can figure out what my parts are. Do I know how many crayons Benji has? Well, I do. He has 36. Oh, you know what I forgot to do here? Go back, Miss Star. I need to write my word part. Anna has, my bad, forgot to do my right part. Shame on you, Miss Star. Anna has 24 crayons. Miss Mulder is over there laughing. Okay, she has 24 crayons. Don't forget your word part. I do know how many crayons Anna has because I just figured that out. Anna has 24. Let's see, I think that's going to be Anna is a part. She had 24. And Benji is a part. I know how many Benji had because my last problem told me Benji had 36 crayons. So I have my part, and I am looking for the whole, or how many they have together. Looking for both of them. All right, so let's see. Let's do our horizontal equation, which would be 24 plus 36. 24 plus 36 will equal my whole. Part plus part equals whole, which I already know. And I am going to have to set up my vertical equation, which would be 24 plus 36. 24 plus 36. All right, so 4 tens and 6 tens is, I'm sorry, that's ones. 4 ones and 6 ones is 10 ones. Oh my gosh, Miss Star. And I was able to compose a 10, so I'm going to put it in my new groups below. And that's showing 10 ones is the same as 1 10 and 0 ones. I can look at it that way. Now I am going to add my tens and my tens. 2 tens and 3 tens is 5 tens, plus 1 more 10 gives me 6 tens, and I end up with 60. 24 plus 36 gives me 60, and I know that together the two of them have 60 crayons. And I need to do my word part. Together, oops, I'm going to start with the capital because I'm going to write this sentence short. Together, they have 60, bing, crayons. 60 crayons with an exclamation point. All right, so my friends, you could also check that by saying 60, take away one of my parts. Let's do 60, take away 36. 60, take away 36 to see if I end up with 24. Can't take 6 ones away from 0 ones, so I am going to have to decompose a 10. I'm looking at my number bond here. I'm going to decompose a 10. That leaves me with 5 tens and 10 ones. 10 ones take away 6 ones is 4 ones, and 5 tens take away 3 tens is 2 tens, giving me back my other part. Or I could also look at that as my number bond. 60 has 24 and 36 as its parts, and of course, bibbidi bobbidi boo. All right, so I've done my checking on both problems, and I am, whoo, that's a lot of writing, so happy that I was able to get those correct. All right, so congratulations to you if you did a great job there. And now we're going to move on to our number bond here. Not our number bond, but our vertical and horizontal. Because they are asking me to use the chip model in these first 3 problems, I will use the chip model. And I would like you to as well. I hope that you did because they provided it. But on the ones where they didn't provide it, if you want to do it without, that would be fine with me. I'm going to go ahead and set up my vertical model here. 117 plus 170. I know that I'm going to have to put both of my parts into my into my chip model. So 100, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117. So there's my 117. Now I'm going to represent 170, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, and 0 ones. So I am looking at 7 ones plus 0 ones gives me 7 ones. Put it in my vertical form. And 1 10 plus 7 tens gives me 7 plus 1 is 8, gives me 8 tens, and 1 100 plus 1 100 here in my chip model, oops, this is 8, and 1 100 plus 1 100 is 2 100s, 1 100 plus 1 100 is 2 100ths. Therefore, I know that 117 plus 170 is 287. I hope you got that right. You had both methods to be able to help you with that, so that should have been a piece of cake. So now I have 217 plus 173. I'm going to set it up in my vertical form, plus 173. I'm going to show that in my chip model, starting with 217, 100, 200, 210, 211, 212, 213, 214, 215, 216, 217. And now for 173, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 171, 172, 173. Now I am ready to add. I can see that I can make or compose a 10, which I'm going to do, and then I need to show that in new groups below. So 7 ones plus 3 ones is 10 ones with my new groups below, shown here and here. And now I'm going to add my 10s. 1 10 plus 7 10s is 8 10s, plus one more gives me 9 10s, and I'm not composing 100 because I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 10s. Oops, this is 0. This is 9. And now I have 200s plus 100 is 300. 1, 2, 300s, making a sum of 390. Congratulations if you got that correct. I'm proud of you. And now we're going to do 371 plus 133. Setting up my chip model, 100, 200, 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350, 360, 370, 371. And now I'm going to do my second add-in, 100, 130, or 110, 120, 130, 131, 132, 133. So I'm going to start in my ones. 1 1 plus 3 ones, well, that's 4 ones, both in my vertical and in my chip model. Now I'm coming to my 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, I can compose 100. Here I go, composing that 100, putting it in new groups below. So 7 10s plus 3 10s is 10 10s. I am having 0 10s, and I was able to compose 100 with new groups below. 300 plus 1 100 is 4 100s, plus one more 100 gives me 5 hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundreds, and 0 10s. All right, congratulations to you if you got 504, and I'm hoping that you're feeling very confident as we move into adding within 1,000. Okay, then we're coming over to the next page, and again we have one more problem that we're going to be using with our chip model. I'd like you to use the chip model at least on these problems where the space is provided for you. Setting that up in my vertical form, and now I need 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. No 10s, 501, 502, 503, 504. All right, now let's move on to 269, 100, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 261, 262, 263, 264, 265, 266, 267, 268, 269. I'm going to move my little arrow here, as it's going to kind of be in my way of what I want to do, because on this one you can choose. Anyway, here we go. Let's do 4 ones plus 9 ones. Well, 4 ones plus 9 ones is 13 ones. Here's where your 36s will come in really handy. 4 ones and 9 ones is 13 ones, which means I could compose a 10. So I'm composing that 10 and putting it in new groups below. Oops, make sure you put it in there, mister. new groups below. Now I am going to be adding 0 tens. Well, wait, I'm going to go back. So 13 ones is the same as 1 10 and 3 ones. All right, so I need to show my 3 ones, and my 1 10 came over into my tens. 0 tens plus 6 tens is 6 tens, plus that one more 10 gives me 7 tens. Gives me 7 tens. So I'm going to show my 7 tens here and here. Let's see, I was not able to compose a hundred, so now I'm coming over into my hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hundreds, and 5 100s plus 2 100s gives me 7 100s for a sum of 773. 7 hundreds, 7 tens, and 3 ones. All right, now on problem number 2, on A and B, if you can solve this without using the CHIP model and just using new groups below, that would be fine with your teachers. However, if you're finding that you're struggling, you certainly have enough space over here to do hundreds, tens, and ones in a CHIP model, but only if you feel like you need to. 6 ones plus 2 ones is 8 ones, and I did not compose a 10, so I'm not going to. 4 tens plus 9 tens is 13 tens, so that would be 13 3 tens and a composed 100, which would be 1 100 and 3 tens, or 13 tens. And so again, 4 tens and 9 tens is 13 tens, or 1 composed 100 and 3 tens. Now I'm into my hundreds. 5 hundreds plus 100 is 600, plus one more 100 gives us 700. So I know that 546 plus 92 is 738, or 7 hundreds, 3 tens, 8 ones, if I was going to do it in value form. All right, let's move on to problem number B, which is 546 plus 275. And of course, if you want to do it with the CHIP model, you're welcome to. Or if you can just do new groups below, that is acceptable as well. 6 ones plus 5 ones is 11 ones, which is the same as 1 1 and a composed 10. 11 ones, or 1 10 and 1 1. Now I'm coming to my tens. 7 tens plus 4 tens is 11 tens, plus one more 10 gives me 12 tens, with 2 tens here and composing a 100. But it is still 12 tens. 12 tens has the same value as 1 100 and 2 tens. Now I'm into my hundreds because I had to compose 100. 5 tens plus 2 tens is 7 tens, plus one more 10 gives me 8 tens, for a sum of 821, or 8 hundreds, 2 tens, 1 1. Congratulations to you if you did a great job on that and you got that all the way completed. I'm very happy for you. And now your job is to do problems 1 and 2 using the vertical form. And if you need to, you're also welcome to do the place value, or the CHIP model, or the place value chart, depending on if that is a necessity for you. All right, so have a great day of learning, and make sure you send that to your teacher. Bye-bye for now.